Welcome to Italy, more specifically Milan. When you go to Milan, the first thing you think of is fashion because it is one of the world's greatest fashion empires. But there's so much more to Milan. There's so much history, there's so much architecture, there's so much technology, there's amazing food that you can find everywhere. In my time in Milan, I realized Milan is pretty similar to a lot of cities that we go to all the time, but at the same time, it has so much culture enriched in it that it still sets itself apart. And it's not just the fashion that sets itself apart. When you go to restaurants, when you go out, there's ways you need to act, and that's how it is in every culture. They do portray the Italian culture very, very well. It's not just a developing city or a city that wants to be Americanized, as most people would say. In my time in Milan, I got to experience so much more outside of Milan as well, such as going to parts of northern Italy, going to island areas, going to lakes like Lago di Como, and even to places like Bellagio, very beautiful places to experience a more rural Italian culture. And I've learned that northern Italy is much different from southern Italy at times. So there's so much history and culture to learn within just a little portion of Italy. In Milan, my favorite thing probably was, you guessed it, food. So in Milan, or even in Italy in general, from all the places that I went to, all the food is always so fresh and not processed or no preservatives in them. You just feel good when you're eating them, and you can taste the freshness in all the food that you eat there. It's pretty amazing to see the difference in how pasta can taste in the United States compared to Italy. Probably one of my favorite foods also there would be gelato. Who doesn't love gelato, you know? And my favorite flavor that I had tried throughout my whole trip was in Pavia, and that was a basil and lemon sorbet. Honestly, I highly recommend it, and if you go to Italy, I mean, and you don't try gelato, then you're really missing out on some real Italian culture. Aside from the food, of course, the architecture is amazing there, and there's so much history enriched in every part of it, though these cities may seem modernized, but if you can look at the buildings that are presented in this video, you can see how much history that might be found in them. And there's so much I've learned over time, such as over the Black Death, religion, so many churches, beautiful, beautiful churches that I've never ever thought that I'd ever see. It's all very breathtaking. Aside from the architecture, another beautiful thing was in the mountains and the countryside areas, how beautiful water looks, or how pretty the mountains are and how far you can see back. When we had gone to Lago di Como, or you could say Lake Como, you were able to see the Swiss Alps from where we are right now, as you can see. If you look far back enough, you can see the Swiss Alps. All in all, the views and the scenes that you can see in Italy and any part of it is absolutely breathtaking, and everybody should have their own little adventure there and experience true Italian culture, live with Italians and be amongst them all the time. I hope you guys enjoyed this little snippet of Italy, and hopefully it's your next best adventure.